Well, it's good, guys. Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to give you the rundown on Bitcoin, give you the game plan for today, also for the rest of the week and what to expect for this week. And we have an interesting week coming up, so you're going to want to hear this out. For the swing traders out there, I'm also going to give you the game plan on what to do when it comes to swing trading, and the answer is going to be much more bullish than you think. And lastly, I'm going to make kind of like an announcement when it comes to altcoins. Now, I've been reading all of your comments, every single one of the comments for the past few weeks, and one of the most common recurring themes that pop up is that you guys want me to do videos on altcoins. Now, the only reason why I haven't done altcoins so far is because, like, if I'm trying to make daily videos, I can't make, for example, a video on Bitcoin, a video on Solana, a video on Ethereum every single day. Even that's a bit too much for my current schedule. So it's not that I don't want to do it. I'm just trying to figure out the best way logistically to make this work. I think I figured out the answer. So starting this Saturday, I may be doing weekly streams. Basically, the stream is just going to be fully altcoin. I'm just going to go through all of these submissions that you guys have, submitted, and I'm going to chart the altcoins and tell you what I think about it. It's going to be done in a live stream format, and it will be updated once every week. And so that makes, logistical sense. And the way that we're going to do this is, like, if you want to submit a list of altcoins that you would like to see, being charted, feel free to click I'm going to put a link somewhere down in the description box below. Basically, the way this is going to work is, like, ideally we're going to get hundreds of submissions. So whichever altcoins that appear with the highest amount of frequency, we're going to chart. For example, if Solana appears like 50 times out of 200 entries, then yeah, we're going to chart Solana for sure. That's ultimately the way that we can keep these altcoin live streams relevant to the people watching them. So yeah, if you guys are interested, feel free to RSVP Saturday, 1 p.m. GMT. We're going to do it here on YouTube. And yeah, I'll see you guys. So to kick things off on the weekly chart, last week we called that a win. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but last week we talked about this bullish order block right there. And we said that the first couple of days for the week was going to go down before you get the true kind of expansion for the rest of the week. And ultimately, that is exactly what happened. You take a look at the daily chart, check it out. Monday goes down, Tuesday goes down, Wednesday, right? Starts the reversal. And then ultimately you close out the week. So last week's PO3 was absolutely spot on. In fact, I would say we had a very good trading week last week, where I think we got every single trade that we called last week was a win. And currently our total is sitting at about 79 out of 95, I believe, of all public YouTube calls made since February. So if you're new to this channel, just know that you're probably in the right place, because we tend to be right more often than we're wrong. But anyways, now that the order block has already been filled and we got a bullish weekly bias, what is the plan for this week? So due to last week's candle closure and also the overall kind of like bullish scenario, and I'm going to start things off by talking about swing trading. To the swing traders out there, just understand that your weekly chart right now is bullish as, like, it cannot become more bullish than this. Basically, every single like fair value gap, for example, over here, that's your fair value gap, got filled, and the price forms a new high. Boom, that was the fair value gap that we were anticipating being filled like a couple of weeks ago. That got filled, and then price immediately bounced. And even last week, once you get a formation of a bullish order block, you just retrace, and now you're bouncing. So by all accounts, you are looking very, very bullish. And so if you're a swing trader, just understand that as long as you do not violate this low right here at like what, $98,000. In fact, let me see if I can narrow this down on the daily chart. Yeah, as long as you do not violate this low right here at $101,000, you're going to be very safe. And even if you were to retrace all the way back down to this fair value gap right here, you would still be safe. So just understand that things are looking very, very bullish. And to continue taking longs, for example, now on the daily chart, you now have formed this new bullish order block, which I will talk about. So yeah, from here, you can probably take an entry, put your stop under here, and you can just target beyond the all-time high, because you will form a new all-time high sometime very soon. So that's the rundown on the weekly situation. At this very moment, we're expecting price to give some kind of a retracement. I don't know if price will retrace all the way back to the weekly order block, but to be fair, as long as you give some kind of retrace, the overall move for this week is probably going to be going towards the upside. Now, I don't know if we will form the new all-time high this week. I think we will, because of how close we are from current price at the moment. But also, one thing to keep in mind is that the news that we have available for this week is not crazy, right? We have FOMC on Wednesday, and then Thursday we have another piece of USD red news. For Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, doesn't seem like it's going to be very volatile, at least for Bitcoin, because you do not have USD red news. Now, the reason why this is important is because there are always multiple variables that you're dealing with in trading. One is direction, the other one is like how far price is going to go, and then lastly is timing, right? When is this move going to happen, or like how long is this move going to take to happen? And news gives you the benefit of kind of narrowing it out, like removing one of those variables, because you know for a fact that something's going to happen at 2 p.m. on Wednesday and something's going to happen at 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. Is your remaining job is just to figure out like where it's going to go and how far is it going to go. So given that we do not have much news this week, you just expect the majority of the weekly expansion to happen on Wednesday and maybe even Thursday, and then Monday, Tuesday, and even Friday to be a little bit more, chill and nothing much to happen. And speaking about expansion, if Wednesday FOMC gives us, an unexpected result, we could go and form a new all-time high on Wednesday. And then now that we've, kind of narrowed that down, just understand that this new bullish daily order block right here, until this one gets violated, basically, you are going to look for this as a retracement opportunity, which price actually already retraced, and then price is already pumping. Now, fun fact, yesterday on Twitter, I actually wanted to make a post about this, basically this volume profile, kind of like value area that got broken out of, and then to retrace into it, and then you can take a 2-hour trade. But then because it was a weekend, I didn't want to, make a wrong call, I guess. So out of the fear of being wrong, I forgot, I just didn't post it. It is what it is. If you guys would like to get access to more of these behind the scenes thoughts, or just live thoughts that would otherwise be tough to make a video on, because it does take a couple of hours to edit this video and to ultimately post it, feel free to follow me on my Twitter at _the_art_of_crypto, and that's where you're going to get access to any live ideas that I do see at the moment. But anyways, so essentially what price is happening right now, what's happening on price right now is you've retraced back into that daily order block right there. You form a value area, right, showing that there is willingness of buyers above this level right here. And ultimately, you got a big breakout. You came back down to retest the value area high, and now you are continuing the move. This is a really good sign for bullish movement. And so even the 1 hourly chart has already shown bullish order flow. So right now, our play for today is going to be very, very straightforward, especially because the Asia low has also been tapped. Let me just show you what I mean by that. This red box right there is the Asia range, and you can see that the Asia range low has been taken out during the London open kill zone. And for those of you who are familiar at all with session profiles, Asia tends to be accumulation, and London tends to be manipulation, and New York tends to be distribution. Now, we've already kind of established the fact that the daily bias is bullish. The overall daily flow is also bullish. And when you are bullish, and one of my favorites when it comes to trading session profiles, this is my bread and butter, is if you are bullish for the day, you want to look for the Asia low to get swept during the London, and then New York's going to most likely reverse the other way around. And so the setup for this is going to be very simple. You want to see this level right here, which is 109.100, get broken, and you want to see a 5-minute candle close above this level. In terms of the 1 hourly chart, you're already in bullish order flow, except this could be a bearish, change in state of delivery. We're not going to talk about that at the moment. Just understand that on the 5-minute, until you get a 5-minute candle closure above 109.100, you are not clear to go long yet. But if you get a candle close above that level, you're going to look for a retrace into there, and then price is going to continue going up. Target is going to be the Asia high, or rather the current daily high, which is 109.700. But you can also just zoom out to the 1 hourly chart, see if there are other targets that you can take profit at. And the other one's going to be right here at 109, or basically $110,000 and 110,500. So these are going to be your targets for intraday. Now again, given the fact that there is no news today, means that it's probably not going to be super volatile. So once you get the Asia high, take some profit, move your stop to break even, just to protect your downside, and you're going to be pretty safe. Now just remember that this is the condition that needs to happen before you can jump into a long. But let's say that we get invalidated. So we've already, kind of talked about the fact that even though this week we are anticipating, bullishness, you could still go a little bit lower first before you get that bullishness. And so we also can kind of confirm this with a 1 hourly change in state of delivery right here, because this candle closed underneath this candle body, which means that actually this is now becoming your bearish order block. So potentially you could go down from here. And if you do go down from here, just expect this to be the target. You are not going to stop going down until you hit 108,200, and potentially, right? This is just a very, very potentially kind of thing. This is a fair value gap right underneath the current London low, and underneath the current Asia low. So perhaps you might even get a manipulation move into this fair value gap right here before you get a change in state of delivery on the 5-minute, and you start reversing. But either way, just understand that, again, you have a couple of triggers. One is this, until you close above here, no go. And secondly, potentially you may come down all the way here first. And as for the timing of like when you can expect this to happen, right now as I'm filming this, it is 4:45 a.m. New York, and if this happens anytime within the next couple of hours before 7 a.m., right, between 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., if you do get this and you start getting a strong break in structure or like a strong break in order flow, then just understand that that is going to be your entry of the day. Overall though, from the 1 hourly to the daily to the weekly, it is seeming like, you know, price is bullish. The only question is, when will the bullish move begin? I would like to think that Wednesday we are definitely going to get a bullish move. Like if Monday and Tuesday ends up being bearish, then Wednesday is the day that we get a bullish move. But otherwise, like, yeah, just understand, even if you were to come all the way down here, this is a swing low that forms right before a feather gap right here. And also just within the grand scheme of things, like it still looks good. Even if you were to break all the way down to here to sweep out all these relatively equal lows, you would still be looking for upside. Just like last week, like everyone who kind of got tricked by the fact that, oh, the market's going to go down or whatever, like they were screwed, right? See, this was Sunday, and then you head into Monday, it starts going down. Tuesday, it starts going down, but then immediately you get a change in state of delivery on the 1 hourly chart. And we were already anticipating this because Monday, Tuesday go down, right? There are a lot of people that would have gotten tricked by this move right here, thinking that the market was indeed bearish. And so I don't want you guys to get tricked also. Even if you were to come all the way down to take out all of these relatively equal lows, you are still bullish. You are still looking for bullishness this week because of, well, everything that I've discussed in this video. This is the way that you kind of prevent yourself from getting caught up in false moves. And if you're watching to this point so far, and if you would like to see me do this kind of analysis on altcoins, make sure you click one of the links in the description box below. RSVP to the free live stream that we're going to be doing here on YouTube this Saturday at 1 p.m. GMT. And to submit whatever altcoins you would like to see being charted on that day. But otherwise, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.